Thank you very much, guys. Despite putting up a good fight in the early games, Samsung still couldn't beat KT as KT picks up a 3-0 victory, and we will have an interview with the entire team of KT squad. So give them a round of applause. KT, congratulations on your win. Ssumday, can you give us a comment on the win? It's really satisfying to win 3-0. But you know, I wasn't satisfied with my individual plays. But I think, you know, I have to give the credits over to my teammates who did a fabulous job today. We thought that Samsung could prove a comeback, you know, with the history of going KT's way, but you guys won in the end. What is the reason for you guys are still consistent in that? I don't know, we just have a lot of confidence when we come into a game against Samsung. But I think I really was carried by my teammates today. So something that we wanted to mention was Score, your battle against Ambition was something to really point out. And we always see that Ambition seems to be a little over-aggressive, and you really seem to take advantage of that. What were some of your thoughts on the game? Yeah, with Ambition, as you've said, he is very aggressive. And you know, if you get caught by that, it's really tough for you. But you know, at that right moment when you take advantage of it, you really do have a nice way to end the game. Is there a way that, you know, you kind of have a way of knowing where Ambition is pathing in this jungle route? Is there anything you can share regarding that? But you know, every time right before I sleep, I have a little image training that I do, trying to predict the pathing of what, you know, the other opposition jungler might take. And you know, I think of, you know, creative pathing ways that I can do for myself. And it's something that I do as a habit. It's a bit of a secret, but you know, if you see where the jungle mob is being killed on the opposite side, you kind of get a sense of where the other jungler is. So I think Score was being sarcastic about it being a secret. With Hachani, you know, with the new patch kind of really emphasizing the standard lanes. How was the standard lane for you today? Today wasn't bad, but I think I just did my own individual part, nothing more than that. But we always see that Hachani does a really good job with this part, and but we always see you dead in the team fights. Yeah, there was a situation where they could have killed Arrow, but they decided to kill me first. You would think that, you know, killing the ADC would be a profit for them, but they always start to kill me first. I don't know, I guess I just die easily. I think this is a situation where you really carried with your deaths, Hachani. And we can't forget to mention concerning your health on your feet right now. How is it right now? With the foot, most of the pains are gone, and they said, but if I have a week remaining on this pain, and I think I'll be fine with the injury.
Stylish.
This is a very suitable item that we saw with the Samsung teammates back in the day. If we can have a talk with Fly. You really showed an outstanding game today with your plays, and you picked up the MVP for the first and second game. I'm really satisfied with how I played today, and I think I really played up to the point that I really wanted to play, which got me the MVPs today.
네. 다음 시즌에는 좀 달라진 모습으로. 네. 그래서 플라이 선수가 오늘 또 크라운 선수와 맞대결에서
Another thing we wanted to mention that your battle against Crown, and we seem to see from you very comfortable against your matchup against Crown.
챔피언 상성이 제가 좀 유리한 쪽으로
With the matchup, I wasn't trying to be underconfident but overconfident, but it was more the champion picks that I had picked out which gave me the confidence over Crown.
거기에 대해서 확실히 블라디가 그냥 더 괜찮다라고 평가를 하신 건가요?
Did you really think that your Vladimir pick was the right pick to choose in your situation? I just picked the champions that I was confident with at the time.
상대 조합이 중요하다기보다는 내가 자신 있는 플레이가.
So you weren't really worried about the team composition, but you were just worried about what you were confident with. Yeah, I think that's what I was waiting for.
네, 그러면 두 번째 세트에서는 또 탈리아로 멋진 활약을.
In the second set, you showed a very nice Talia play.
혹시 설명해 줄 수 있을까요?
And can you share a little information about the champion?
저는 좀 하기는 싫었는데 코치님이
Personally, I didn't want to play Talia in the second game, but the coaching staff kind of forced me to play it.
절대 아무한테도 지지 않겠다는 그런
But I have this saying of I will never lose a game when I play Talia.
하면 다 이기네요. 네.
요즘 자신감이 넘치는 것 같아요.
And I think I'm really growing in confidence nowadays.
오늘 그래서 크라운 선수와의 맞대결도 자신이 있는 상태에서 임하셨고.
네.
And I was confident against playing against Crown today.
픽이든 뭐 재밌어 하는 픽이든.
Well, regardless of the picks that he wants to play or don't want to play, he'll still get a win.
크라운 선수와 얘기 나눠볼까요?
And if we can have a discussion with Arrow,
네. 세 번째 세트에서 멋진 활약으로 지인으로.
in the second set and third set, you showed a really outstanding play with Jin.
첫 번째 경기요.
네.
In the third game,
돌이켜 봐도
if I look back,
여태까지 진
I think
게임 중에 제일
out of all the Jin games that I've played so far, this was definitely the best one I played.
정말 멋진 장면을 많이 만들어 내셨어요.
You showed a spool of highlights with the Jin.
연습하거나 그런 건
Did you have a little more focused practice with Jin?
빈만 연습하거나 그런 건 아니고
Well, it wasn't necessarily a focused practice with Jin, but
가지고 잘 맞은 것 같아요.
but I was just kind of going with my instincts when I was shooting with Jin, and it turned out good.
쓰인다라는 얘기들이 나오고 있거든요. 이것에 대해서 혹시 다른 생각을 하고 계시나요? 어떤 재밌는 픽이나 더 전략적인 픽에
Is there any other kind of picks that you have in mind?
그 수합을 하게 되면 초반에 손해 봐서 라인전이 중요시 되잖아요.
But with the standard lanes nowadays,
상성 관계를
네.
좀 찾아야 되니까
I think there's a need to search for a very good standard laning ADCs, and that's what I'm looking for.
네. 그리고 정말 개인적으로 궁금한 게
Something I'm personally curious about is
플라이 선수나 에로 선수에 대한 부족도 굉장히 많고
there's a lot of observations on the Fly and Arrow, but they talk about that you two are very talented, but there's no specific color that you guys have as players.
그렇죠. 그렇게 색깔이 없다고 이제 단점으로 표현하자면
Well, you kind of say that I don't have a specific color, but if you look at it in a positive way, that just means I'm just flatly talented, and I think that's something to take back as a compliment either way.
너무 잘하셨어요.
감사합니다.
네, 알겠습니다. 그러면 오늘 경기 진짜 시원하게
Well, you got a very clean victory today,
대표에서
and as captain,
경기가 있어서 사실 빡빡한 일정이
can you give us a comment on the rest of the games that you have left over?
네.
내일에 다들 아시다시피
Well, 2 days later, as you all know, we are up against SKT,
올해는 다르다는 걸 꼭 보여드리겠습니다.
but we will try to show that we can win it all this season.
썸데이 선수는 아까부터 계속 약간 경기력에 대한 아쉬움이 좀 남으시는 것 같은데 어쨌든 내일 모레 또 좋은 플레이를
And that seems to be ended. Interview back over to you guys.
오늘 승리하게
All right, thanks for the translating, Joel. KT ROLSTER with some confident words, but it's tough, man. I mean, playing SK Telecom the day after tomorrow, the gauntlet is brutal. It's vicious. But KT ROLSTER is probably better equipped than they've been in a while to take down SK Telecom.
And what they really needed was to see that Arrow and Fly could be the big carries in this game, because KT needs that dimension if they want to be a champion this season.
Well,
There's
it
also
certainly happened.
the biggest form discrepancy in the league, you'd have to say. SKT's junglers versus Score. It's been one of Score's best seasons, and they've really struggled with that position. So maybe it'll be Score, the captain himself, to be the difference between the two.
It really does seem to be the key. I mean, SK Telecom has relied on the strength of their individual lanes, but if you add Score into that equation, maybe the pendulum tips a bit in KT's favor.
And it does mean a lot to have those strong lanes. That's how SK Telecom wins games. But at the end of the day, having strong lanes is not as potent as having great team coordination. And KT has finished out this season with the regular season with 6 consecutive best-of-3 victories. Now a very clean best-of-3 against Samsung. So they've been on a hot streak, and I'm not sure SKT's going to have to come up with a lot to stop them.
Yeah, they are. Blank's going to need to play on a level that we haven't really seen from him all season, I think, and everybody else is going to need to continue being amazing in lane. But this one could be really close. Like, I feel like I just tweeted this, but I feel like we almost get 2 finals this season. We really do.
Yeah, it could be good. And just to bring it back to when SKT did beat KT before that big win streak, KT should have won that best-of-3. They were massively ahead in games 2 and 3 and threw at Baron. We haven't seen that same behavior since. They've cleaned up their Baron calls, and I think that may be the big differentiating factor.
And let's put the spotlight on one player, Arrow. Deathless this series on Sivran. To not die in that last game as Jin with no peel. He had a massive series, and Fly as well, like you say. Can Fly stand up to Faker, though? That's the question.
We will find out, guys, the day after tomorrow, the Telecom War, to decide who goes to the LCK Summer Grand Finals. It's going to be SK Telecom versus KT ROLSTER. It's going to be awesome. Don't miss it. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Until next time.